Go interactive with X-Ray, where we bring trading experts to you live in the platform. Choose sessions, watch live market analysis, and catch up on your favorite market insights anytime. Ask questions and go one-to-one with leading experts on gold, oil, FX, crypto, indices, and equities. X-Ray, your very own analysis team, right at your fingertips. That's higher trading from MarketsX. Discover how some of the top executives are trading their own companies with our Insider Trades tool. See who's been buying or selling stock and what their trades say about insider sentiment. Use this unique big data tool to make more informed stock trades. That's higher trading from MarketsX.
And we're live. What's happening, people? Good morning, America, and welcome everyone to our live stream. Good afternoon, Europe. My name is Andrew, and for the last 10 years, I've worked in many retail and institutional Forex brokerages in Europe. Join me in this fantastic journey and learn what most Forex brokers don't want you to know. Here's what's happening in the markets today, 3rd of December 2020. OPEC Plus sees progress in output talks. Crude oil steady at $45 a barrel. U.S. reaches the highest number of deaths caused by the COVID-19 virus with an astonishing 2,700 deaths reported in the last 24 hours. U.S. Democrats proposed a stimulus package of $908 billion to help the U.S. economy recover. And Bitcoin still trading steady at $19,350 with little gains for the day, but with great potential to the upside. And in case you missed the announcement, guys, we are broadcasting on our new YouTube channel. You can find the link in the description down below. Like, share, subscribe, and support us in delivering more great content. Shortly after the opening, guys, we're going to have Neil Wilson in the studio from the heart of London, Chief Market Analyst at Markets.com, for another great round of market talks. U.S. markets open, coming up. Right, good morning, people. Once again, how are you guys doing? Type your comments. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know if you're struggling with anything, and I'll do my best to answer all your comments and all your questions towards the end of the webinar. Breaking news earlier on, guys. By the looks of things, the relationship between U.S. and China worsened in the last few days, and today U.S. tightens the visa rules for Chinese Communist Party members, limiting their access to the U.S. to 1 month. Busy day in the economic calendar, on the other hand. Where's the economic calendar? There it is. Busy day in the economic calendar, guys. We had the initial jobless claims that came out better than predicted at 712,000 versus an expectation of 775,000. We had the services PMI data in the Eurozone coming out better than analysts had expected in most cases, pushing the European currencies to record highs today versus a crippled US dollar, guys. So we saw the Spanish services PMI, guys, coming out positive. We saw Italian services PMI coming out negative, and the German services PMI this morning came out negative as well. The services PMI in the Eurozone came out positive. The services PMI in the UK came out positive, shooting the British pound through the roof during the trading session today. Then the initial jobless claims, guys, and in 20 minutes from now, we're going to have the services PMI coming from the States. Let's see how that comes out. If we're going to see a red result, guys, probably the US dollar will tank again, creating lower lows for the US dollar, for the already crippled US economy. Now, let's have a quick look at a couple of interesting articles, guys. Very interesting articles today. Number one on the board, stimulus measures seem to be back in the game, guys. Democrats back compromise stimulus plan. Top Democrats threw their weight behind the bipartisan proposal for COVID relief package worth $908 billion, putting pressure on Senate leader Mitch McConnell to drop his plan to bring a more modest package back to the floor of the upper chamber. President-elect Joe Biden, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, and Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer all said the bill would be acceptable as a starting point. Very good news. We saw the reaction in S&P 500 and the Dow Jones, guys, on stimulus news. Let's see what's going to happen today. Less than 5 minutes to the U.S. markets open. Number 2 on the board, jobless claims, Challenger job cuts survey due. The U.S. will release jobless claims data for the week at 8:30 Eastern time. We already spoke about it. They came out better than expected. So we saw a better number last month. Let's see what's going to happen this month. Let's see what's going to happen this month. Business surveys for November released overnight showed continuing strong growth in China and a slightly less dramatic dip in the Eurozone economy than feared. The Eurozone composite PMI was revised up to 45.3 from an initially reported 45.1. That was still down sharply from the 50 we had in October and puts the Eurozone firmly back in contractionary territory. Number 3 on the board, guys, stocks, U.S. stocks set to open mixed today. U.S. stock markets are set to open mixed with a rotation into cyclicals and value stocks having lost momentum on Wednesday against a backdrop of weak economic data. Stocks likely to be in focus later include Dollar General, TD Bank, and Kroger, all of which are due to report earnings, and JD.com, which completed a well-received IPO of its healthcare arm in Hong Kong overnight. Let's move on to number 4 on the board, guys. Dollar hits a new 31-month low. The dollar continued its descent, hitting a fresh 31-month low as the prospect of recovery next year enticed even more money out of safe havens and into foreign currencies. The euro rapidly gained another cent after breaking through the 120 for the first time since April 2018, while the Aussie dollar, Korean won both hit new 30-month highs. The Chinese yuan again tested the 2.5-year low it hit in mid-November, shrugging off concerns about the House of Representatives vote on Wednesday that passed a bill forcing Chinese companies to delist from U.S. stock exchanges if they don't submit to U.S. audit regulations. Right, this makes a lot of sense, guys, but the question is, how did these Chinese companies get listed if they never submitted anything for U.S. audit regulators? Very curious. But again, it's not up to us to decide. And number 5 on the board, guys, the long-awaited news regarding OPEC and oil prices. The Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries and their allies will finally meet to decide their output policy for the next few months. Expectations that the expanded bloc, which includes Russia, would freeze output at current levels in the face of recent economic downturn in Europe and the US have given way to doubts amid reports of Russian pressure for a modest increase in output from the start of next year. Argus Media reported that Russia has proposed increasing output by 500,000 barrels a day in monthly increments through the first quarter. The bloc is currently keeping 7.68 million barrels per day of output off world markets in an attempt to rebalance supply and demand since the pandemic. Right, this is what is happening, guys. We have another breaking news that came in earlier on. A big question mark regarding Brexit, guys, but more about this topic we're gonna touch upon with Neil Wilson, which will join us probably in about 30 seconds to 1 minute. So let's do this, guys. Let's welcome Neil Wilson to join us, and then we're gonna touch up on this very, very, very sensitive topic. What do you say? All right. Now, before that, let's have a quick look at a few stocks, guys, a few stocks of the day. Tesla stock rose 4.5% after influential investment bank Goldman Sachs upgraded its stance to buy from neutral, raising its price target to $780, citing the more rapid adoption of electric vehicles. Snowflake, on the other hand, stock fell 2.1%. Alphabet stock dropped 0.1% after the National Labor Relations Board issued a complaint accusing its Google unit of unlawfully monitoring and questioning several workers. Facebook, on the other hand, guys, fell 0.2% after Reuters reported that a number of states, led by New York, plan to file a lawsuit against the social media giant next week over potential antitrust violations. This thing with Facebook and the antitrust violations is lasting for at least 1 year. I think 1 to 2 years now. So let's see what's going to happen. Amazon, on the other hand, Amazon stock rose 0.2% after the Wall Street Journal reported that the tech giant is in exclusive talks to purchase Wondery, the last large independent podcaster on the market. Obviously, after InstructFX, guys. Right. I'll tell you what, let's take a 30-second break, and then we welcome my guest for today, Neil Wilson, for an amazing round of market talks. What do you say? Right, we're coming back live in 30 seconds with Neil Wilson from the heart of London, guys. Stay tuned.
Discover how some of the top executives are trading their own companies with our Insider Trades tool. See who's been buying or selling stock and what their trades say about insider sentiment. Use this unique big data tool to make more informed stock trades. That's higher trading from MarketsX.
Right, guys, and the time has come to introduce once again for the week Neil Wilson, Chief Market Analyst at markets.com from the heart of London. Very good afternoon, Neil. How are you?
Hey, Andrew. Yeah, I'm very well, thank you. It's very wet here, but it's all fine in the markets.
It's very wet where I am as well. It's December, man. It's raining everywhere.
Yeah.
First of all, I want to start by congratulating the United Kingdom to becoming the first country in the world to approve the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine yesterday.
Yeah, it's excellent news, really. I think. I mean, rushing to approve it's probably in comparison to actually getting the vaccine ready is obviously not quite the same thing. But the UK is obviously keen to get it out as quickly as possible. I think we probably stand to benefit the most from a vaccine recovery just because of the shape of our economy and the nature of our economy. And because we've been quite badly hit. So yeah, very positive news. FTSE trading close to 6,500 now. Sterling moving up higher as well. So yeah, it's all
134.73. 134.73 for the cable right now. Amazing rally, amazing performance today.
Yeah, very solid. I think Brexit talks are I think nearing conclusion. I think we're going to get an acceleration into conclusion this weekend by the looks of it. Officials heading to London again tonight, I believe, and I think we're into that sort of final push to get the deal over the line. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see an announcement either tomorrow or over the weekend.
We saw another announcement this morning talking about Brexit that worried me a bit. And I'm going to put it on the screen right now so we can all see it. Where is it? There it is. There it is. Okay. So the headline is Emmanuel Macron set to sink Brexit deal with French veto? What happened with France?
Yeah, well, I think, obviously the French are keen to play. They want to be seen as he wants to be seen as sticking up for French interests, and he's got a bit of a the de Gaulle complex where he wants to stick it to the Brits, I think, a little bit. But ultimately, I don't see the French vetoing this. There's no way that the rest of the EU would be keen to see France throw its toys out of the pram at this late stage and scupper 4 years worth of negotiations. It's been, it's 4 years of very, very difficult, painstaking negotiations. We're finally nearly there. And for the French to kick off just because the fishing rights weren't exactly how they want them, it seems a little bit childish. I don't think that's going to happen. I think Angela Merkel would have a quiet word, and also it's just part of the game of part of the game of the negotiations to threaten to make your threat seem real in order to get what you want.
I was expecting this to come from the European Union, but not from France, if anything.
Well, actually, I think the EU, the bulk of the EU is keen to just get a deal. I think the French have sort of domestic policy. Macron's got domestic political agenda that he's trying to look after, and that's probably why he's taking this stance. I think as far as the rest of the EU goes, they might as well just agree a deal. I don't think governments in Rome and Berlin, Amsterdam, wherever, are really that bothered what the finer detail is. I think they just want to see a deal, get Brexit behind them, and then move on.
Yeah, I think everyone, including the UK, is a bit tired of over 4 years of negotiations and talking about the Brexit, and they just want to get it out of the way. And probably from France's point of view, again, they are tired and they just tried to push the carriage a bit by giving them an ultimatum. But oof, I don't know if that's the right thing to do from France. Now, another thing I wanted to talk to you about, which is again not a good news. We started with a very positive news and a very good news with the UK becoming the first country in the world to approve the Pfizer BioNTech vaccine. Now, US on the other hand is not doing this well. US reached record number of deaths, announcing over 2,700 deaths in the last 24 hours. Why is it so bad in the US, Neil? Why do you think? What is it? The Thanksgiving holiday? LA just ordered people to stay home.
Yeah, I mean, I think the US has taken a different approach. Different states have taken a different approach to Europe, where there's been quite a strict lockdown in Europe over since the pandemic started on and off. But it's been a bias towards strict lockdowns, whereas in the US it's sort of seen a bias towards a more kind of easygoing approach. And I think you got a lot of people moving around. The US economy is relatively more open than it has been in the UK, for example, over the last month, where we've had a lockdown in France, Spain, Italy, Germany, all having these sort of various versions of lockdowns. And the US hasn't quite followed that pattern. So, I think that's probably why cases are rising. The CDC warning that they're going through the sort of worst time in their public health history. And the winter is going to be exceptionally tough, I think. And they're going to need to race ahead and get these vaccines approved, because they need to get the vaccines out there as quickly as possible.
And not only the vaccines, also the stimulus measures. We saw a good news that apparently the Democrats are pushing the stimulus measures forward. Finally, they got it. It was needed. Now we're looking at the US dollar index on a 60-minute chart. We see the US dollar index in a horrible downtrend, horrible downtrend. It's currently trading at 90.71 versus the other peers. And we're looking at the RSI and the stochastic at the bottom of the charts, way in the oversold territories. How bad can this downtrend continue, Neil? Where is it likely to see the US dollar index if the situation continues like this? 89, 87?
Yeah, I think, 88. Well, there's not an awful lot of support down to 88 anyway. I think that would be the level to be looking at. I sort of hold a consensus. My view is it matches a lot of the consensus here on a sort of weaker dollar playing out over the next few months. Massive amount of issuance, massive amount of extra dollars being created. The economy, obviously, struggling there, and I think the euro is obviously it's about 50% of the dollar index, and it seems to be on an upwards trajectory, and that's accounting for the bulk of this move. I think you've got is probably very little resistance to 125 for the euro, and very little support for the dollar index down to about 88. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's where we're at in timelines are always a bit tricky, but maybe a month to sort of 3 months from now.
Yeah, there's the US dollar index chart on a daily chart. We can see the US dollar now trading the US dollar index at 90.72, testing this support level. And if it's going to break this support level, we might see the US dollar index, as you said, going down to 88.6 or even lower at 88 on the dot.
Yeah, I mean that's the low. That's the horizontal support coming in from that low from that. A few years back. So I think that's really the level that we're looking at initially. Whether or not you then see more weakness is harder to say. I mean, we've got some big banks are calling for a 21% drop in the dollar. That implies trading about 70. I think if I do the arithmetic roughly right. Other banks calling for sort of 5 to 10% decline on the dollar index, so that's sort of more down to around the 75 region. So I think there's clearly a view that the dollar is going to weaken, but it's a very crowded trade. Speculative euro positioning is very long. Potential for short squeezes there, I think, as well. And the dollar always tends to have this habit of overperforming versus consensus, just because it's that global, that global reserve currency, and it always seems to bounce back. And I think this is the first time that I'd be really seeing a weaker dollar. This first time that I've really taken that sort of view, just because I don't tend to bet against the dollar. But I think this time is a little bit different.
But if the dollar goes down, that can only mean one thing: gold futures up. Gold is currently trading at 1837. It recovered a bit from a big drop. Right. Germany extends lockdown until 10th of January 2021. How about that?
Yeah, I guess it's very much in line with what we see across Europe. Except for the UK, where we've got this sort of very easy, relaxed guidelines over Christmas for 5 days. Quite what that's going to lead to, we don't know, but probably an increase in cases. Germany, all the European countries are pursuing a fairly tight lockdown regime, and I think they're just keen to get into the other side. You get to the end of January, and then you're starting to vaccinate your population. Remember, UK's got a several-week head start now over the rest of Europe. If you only need to vaccinate the sort of the very most vulnerable, and you wipe, you reduce the death rate by about 99%. So they're very quick wins, and therefore you could actually see hospitalizations come down very rapidly. Even only after a short period of vaccinations taking place, and then that really then allows you to open up the economy again and allow sort of pretty much a return to normal.
Europe is doing a bit better than the US, even though the death toll in Europe is quite high as well. But people seem to be more, countries seem to be implementing the right measures, apparently. We saw the cases dropping in the last couple of weeks in some European countries. So let's hope, as you said, UK has a head start when it comes to vaccinations. They've ordered 40 million doses.
40 million of the Pfizer BioNTech vaccine. But we've actually got the biggest order per head of population out of any country for all the vaccines we've got. I think we've got about 6 doses per head of population pre-ordered already across I think 5 to 6 different vaccines that are in the offing. So we are very well prepared for a vaccination program, and I think that's going to stand us in a very good position next year.
Yeah, I think Europe will have a head start versus the US in regards to vaccinations in 2021.
Yeah, it depends how systematically you can get them rolled out as well, and Europe's certainly in the UK, our National Health Service has the advantage of it being a very centralized system starts to come to the fore in this sort of situation. It might be a bit trickier in the US given its healthcare system.
True. And now the last question, and then I'll let you go. The good almighty Bitcoin, which is flirting with the 20,000 level for the last week or so. It almost reached it a few days ago, and currently trading at $19,387. It's settled above the 19.5 for a day or two. What's happening with Bitcoin? Why is it stalling so much?
Well, I think you'd anticipate around such a massive level, an all-time high, you get a period of consolidation. If you don't get an outright sort of rejection, which would push you back down lower to the next sort of level. You saw the all-time high getting taken out. Now we're seeing consolidation. I think that's probably not a bad thing for the market. It allows the sort of people that want to get out the time to sort of maybe take some profits. Allows some more people to get back in. If they see the consolidation taking place, and maybe a bit more confident that it's going to continue to rise. So I think that there's an advantage to this sort of market, this sort of behavior, price action for Bitcoin. And like I say, given so many people are determined to push it up, I would be surprised if it didn't go up higher.
Yeah, and as the dollar goes down, the Bitcoin seems to be going in the opposite direction, which is good for traders. Yeah, volatility is there, opportunities are there. It's only a matter of us taking profit or not. Right, yeah. Neil Wilson, thank you so much for another great round of market talks. I'm looking forward to speaking to you on Monday if you're available. Who knows? Maybe something else will happen. I don't want to mention Bitcoin anymore. Until then. Right, Neil, thank you ever so much for being with us today. Have a
Thank you.
great week and have a nice weekend and stay safe. I'll talk to you on Monday.
See you. Bye-bye.
Right, guys, we had Neil Wilson from the heart of London. I'll tell you what, let's take 30 seconds to catch my breath, and then we're coming back with the charts of the day and the signals of the day. What do you say? All right, we're coming back live in 30 seconds with the charts of the day. Stay tuned.
Keep your finger on the market pulse with the News Alerts tool. Stay up to date on the latest sentiment across all the major asset classes. Uncover bullish or bearish signals tied to specific assets that could be developing before major price moves, and track how news sentiment correlated with price in the past. Track the news volume on an asset, its fear index, and get a better feel for its underlying strength. All with News Alerts, your central hub for market information. That's higher trading from MarketsX.
Right, guys, and we're back. We're already 16 minutes into the U.S. trading session. Let's have a quick look at the charts and see how the markets open today, 3rd of December, 2020. We're looking at crude oil futures, guys, as usual on a 60-minute chart. We see crude oil trading currently at $45.08, almost close to the $45 flat. The markets are waiting for OPEC to say something. They're waiting for a decision from OPEC to get a feel of direction. Since 26th of November, oil prices started trading sideways, well supported by the 200 moving average, the red line that we see at the bottom, but still no higher highs, no higher lows. Trading sideways until OPEC hopefully will give us a bit of a sense of direction. RSI and stochastic at the bottom of the charts are exactly in the somewhere in between overbought and oversold levels. A lot of uncertainty in the market. Now, the same thing can't be said about the euro US dollar, guys. The most traded currency pair in the world, 121.55 for the euro USD today. Amazing rally for the euro. Very good rally. RSI stochastic way in the overbought levels. We might see a bit of a correction, but let's see what's going to happen. If we're going to see a weak dollar, guys, after the open, very likely we're going to see another rally in the European currencies. Moving on to the cable, guys, the GBP USD. Look at this amazing rally. Look at this fantastic rally that the pound had today. Most probably, this rally was fueled by the news that UK became the first country in the world that approved the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine yesterday. However, only today the markets digested the news, guys. If you remember, or if you look at the charts carefully, this is what happened yesterday on the European trading session. What you see here in the left-hand side, big drop, huge drop, amazing drop yesterday for the pound. I was even wondering what on earth is going on. How come the pound didn't go through the roof yet? Well, there you go, guys. The markets took a bit of time to digest the news, and today we saw the pound trading as high as 134.62. Very good performance for the pound. Tiny red candlestick now. Almost 20 minutes into the U.S. trading session. A bit of a correction is expected to happen, probably to this level, to the 134.30. So we expect a correction of roughly 30 points to start with. This is the most logic movement that might happen. Yes, somewhere close to that blue line there, close to the 20 moving average. No point mentioning again the RSI and the stochastic, which are literally off the charts. There you go. That's how an oversold level looks like, guys. Way off the charts. So a bit of a correction is expected. Moving on to USD JPY. Wow, what a sharp drop on the US dollar after the US Open. Oh my God, 103.84 for USD JPY with the RSI and the stochastic off the charts, but in the opposite direction, towards the downside. What a big drop, guys. What a big drop. And this drop might continue to the 103.69 level, which if you look towards the left, you can see that is a very interesting support level for the US dollar versus the Japanese yen. What a big drop. Now, let's have a quick look at the Aussie dollar, which done amazingly today, just like the euro and the pound. 0.7440 for the Aussie dollar now, with great potential to the upside. The RSI stochastic did not enter the overbought levels just yet. There is still potential for the Aussie dollar. That can only mean one thing, guys. Gold futures are going up. Gold gained as well today. You're going to see the charts in a minute. USD CAD pair, on the other hand, again, big drop on the US dollar in the last few trading sessions. 129.02 for the USD CAD, with the RSI and stochastic still pointing downwards and not entering the oversold levels just yet. So that means there is still a long way to go until they're gonna enter those oversold levels. Let's see how the S&P 500 opened today. We see a positive opening on the S&P 500, guys. What is it? 20 minutes into the US trading session. 36.71.75 for the S&P 500. Good rally. Let's have a look at Dow Jones. Whoa, Dow Jones is doing much better. 29.971.61 for the Dow Jones. Amazing opening for the Dow this morning. RSI stochastic still pointing upwards. Still plenty of room to go. We're going to see the Dow Jones and the S&P very likely today creating a new record high on the back of a crippled US dollar. Talking about a crippled US dollar, there it is. 9.064 for the US dollar index, guys. RSI stochastic off the charts towards the downside. We might see the dollar hitting record lows. Another record low today. Boom. We're looking at gold futures, guys. $1,835.70 for gold futures on a 60-minute chart. Good rally for gold. We see that gold cross being formed between the 200 and the 50 MA, which usually indicates an uptrend. It indicates a bit of buying power. As things stand right now, we see gold pulling back a tiny bit after a good rally today. 1835.80. We might see a retest of that 50 moving average at 1826. We're somewhere there in that region. So about 10 points below the current market price. Nothing to be worried about. RSI stochastic, again, they stayed in the overbought levels since the first of the month, guys. Since Monday, RSI and stochastic are way in the overbought levels, indicating a strong uptrend, a strong recovery on gold, which was needed, to be honest, after we all witnessed a drop of what was it? Over $100, guys. Over $100 in a week, last week. So overall, gold futures settle above the 200. They make great potential to the upside on the back of a crippled dollar. Keep an eye on gold, guys, and calculate your entry. If you want to go long on gold this afternoon, calculate your entry. Allow this pullback to happen so you don't get a big drawdown on your trading account. Right, light crude or Brent oil futures, guys, $48.33 for Brent oil futures. Traded to the upside in the last 2 hours. As you can see, the last two candlesticks are green right here. But again, crude oil and Brent oil are both waiting for a decision from OPEC Plus in regards to the new oil supply starting January. Silver futures. Let's have a look at silver futures. Guys, again, just like gold futures, they moved above that 200 moving average. We saw a good rally, a decent rally in the last couple of trading sessions, and now we see a bit of a correction to that 50 moving average on a 60-minute chart. 23.95, 23.94 as we speak for silver futures. The price dropped below that 50 MA. It's testing that 50 MA right now, so we might see it testing the 200 MA at 23.65. Extra caution, guys, extra caution. RSI stochastic at the bottom of the chart, pointing downwards, but still not very confident. I'm looking at that RSI. There we go. I'm looking at the RSI. Still, it did not manage to meet the oversold levels for quite some time now. So probably the uptrend still remains. Now, good almighty Bitcoin. Let's see if the charts have recovered. No, okay. Apparently there is an issue with the data feed, from wherever investing.com is getting the data feed, from Bitfinex, if I'm not mistaken. I think Bitfinex has a bit of an issue with the charts today. However, the price definitely works. $19,365.5 for Bitcoin right now. Bitcoin charts will look very much like the silver or gold charts. We saw Bitcoin ranging for quite some time, being very shy of that 20,000 mark and ranging between 19,500 and 19,000. We're just below, just short of the 19,000 mark. Let's have a look at some trading signals, guys. Almost half an hour into the US opening. I think the signals are quite clear as things stand right now. 4 green on Euro USD, 4 green on GBP USD. They both expected to go through the roof today. 4 red on USD JPY, 4 red on USD CHF. Strong sell positions on all four time frames for the US dollar, guys. On all versus all its peers. USD CAD, 4 red, strong sell. USD CHF, 4 red, strong sell. USD JPY, 4 red, strong sell. AUD USD, guys, 4 green, strong buy. Yeah, just like gold. AUD and gold move in the same direction. Now, the Kiwi dollar versus the US dollar. Again, 4 green, 4 strong buy positions on the strong buy signals, on the Kiwi dollar versus the US dollar. Very, very good. Finally, we see a bit of balance in the markets. We see 4 of a kind. It's been a long time since we saw 4 of a kind. Euro JPY and Euro CHF, strong sell, guys. The day really remains a buy. However, we have 3 strong sell positions on the Euro versus the Japanese yen and the CHF. Quick look at commodities. Let's see what investing.com says about commodities this afternoon. There we go. We're looking at gold and silver futures with a strong sell on 3 time frames. So probably that's the correction I was telling you about. Yeah, gold and silver are trying to correct right now as the US dollar is holding for dear life. It's trying to go up a bit, to correct a bit as it went down too much today. Copper, strong sell on the first 2 time frames. The daily and the hourly remain a buy. Mixed signals. Let's have a look at crude oil, WTI, and Brent oil. There we go, guys. 4 green on crude oil and Brent oil. Strong buy positions on all 4 time frames. We might see crude oil futures and Brent oil futures going through the roof today. Natural gas, 4 red on natural gas. Strong sell. Natural gas is expected to go down. Finally, the correlation starts making sense. In case you didn't know, guys, most of the times, natural gas and crude oil have a negative correlation. Yeah, when crude oil WTI goes up, natural gas tends to go down most of the times. There are times when they trade in the same direction, but on very rare occasions. Right, US with mixed signals, sell on a 5-minute chart, strong buy 15 and hourly, and the daily remains a strong sell. It's not even worth looking at that, guys, when you have 4 of a kind all across the board. Right, let's have a quick look at indices, guys. Let's see the overview on Wall Street. Half an hour into the US trading session. There we go, guys. A lot of green. A lot of green on the charts for the US indices. NASDAQ 100, 4 green. Strong buy on all 4 time frames. The S&P 500, strong buy. Dow Jones, strong buy on all 4 time frames. The NASDAQ, strong buy. And the Russell 2000, the small cap 2000. Again, 4 green, guys. 4 strong buy positions. Now, markets seem to be making a bit of sense today. It is very bad what's happening in the States, guys. It is very bad that this bloody COVID-19 virus claimed over 1.5 million lives across the globe. This is it. Let's hope it will all end soon with the vaccination process starting as soon as possible. UK will start the vaccination process within a week or 2. Hopefully, Europe will start the vaccination process, if not before year-end, hopefully in January. And hopefully, US will start the vaccination process as soon as possible. This was it from my side today, guys. Careful, careful, careful. A lot of volatility is expected later on as well. Until tomorrow morning, remember to trade responsibly and may all your trades be in the money. Have a good day, guys.